everybody, welcome to Mind Gap Podcast. I'm Doug.
I'm Justin.
And we have an awesome guest joining us this week. It's been a while since we've had a guest.
Yes.
It's super exciting. This wonderful human being has so many podcasts, at least 5, maybe 6. I don't know what the final count is, but it's a lot. It's 8. Got 8. 8 podcasts.
8 is at 9. Do that again.
8. That's 8 with a 9th one maybe coming.
Oh my God.
Yes, it's a lot, and he's an awesome human. He's a big nerd. We're so excited to have him here. Please welcome the Almighty Crit.
Woo! That's
Welcome.
me. I'm him.
It is him, the Almighty Crit. Welcome. Thanks so much for joining us tonight. This is super exciting.
Well, thank you for having me. I'm super excited myself to be here.
This is awesome. Yeah, we're so excited. We've got so much to talk about tonight. But before we get started, I'd love to just have you plug everything you got going on, including the 8.5 podcasts, your whatever you've got, your socials, everything. Let everyone know where they can find your stuff.
Oh, okay. You ready for this?
Let's do it.
I've taken a big deep breath. Let's do this. So we have first and foremost my baby, my pride and joy, the Fumbling 4 and the Almighty Crit live play D&D podcast, which is just ridiculousness completely ensued.
Nice.
So we have that. We have the Dungeons and Dragons Lorecast, where we discuss all things Dungeons and Dragons. We have the Resident Evil Lorecast, and that one's about Resident Evil. Huh.
I see what you're doing there.
Yeah, see what I did there?
The pattern, yeah.
Yeah. So we also have a few other live plays. We have Call of Cthulhu Mythos Mysteries, which is a live play Call of Cthulhu podcast. We have Cyberpunked, that's Cyberpunked''D, which is our Cyberpunk Red live play podcast.
Co-hosted by Ashton Kutcher.
Yes. We tried. He was such a jerk. He said, no, I ain't got time for that. And then he left. I was disappointed. Deeply disappointed. We'll try next time. Next year, maybe. We also have, I'm losing track here. Holy cow. I know. I told you. Let's see. We've got Call of Cthulhu, Dungeons and Dragons Lorecast, Cyberpunk, Resident Evil. We have our Delta Green SCP files, which is where we play as SCP agents dealing with the SCPs.
What's SCPs?
Secure, Contain, Protects. They're basically anomalies or strange and random things of different variations that are contained, protected, and secret from society.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So it's a very much more serious version of
things that are being handled by top men.
Top brass.
Top.
Yes. What else do we have? Holy cow. I guess I should.
Everyone's shouting Avatar in the chat.
Avatar, yes. Avatar, The Last Airbender. Yes. We have our Avatar Legend of the Elements TTRPG as well, based off the new Avatar tabletop that just came out. So I think that wraps us up. Yeah, I think that's it.
Got a lot going on. Where can people find you on social media?
So easiest way to find us is if you just go to @4_crit on Twitter. There you can find the links to all the rest of the Twitters that you may or may not want to be in. You can also find our Discord. It's linked in every single show note. It's linked in every single social media. And then you can find us on Facebook at Fumbling 4 and the Almighty Crit.
Nice.
So
awesome.
you can find us everywhere.
Can people send you suggestions for podcasts they think you should start? Because I don't think you have enough going on.
We'll see. You know what? Go ahead, send them to me. If I like them, maybe I'll do them. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, Jared wants to know, when do you have time for anything else like eating, drinking, and masturbating?
I don't. I gave up eating and drinking.
Go.
Priorities, man. Priorities.
Hey, man, you gotta do what you gotta do. And Wolf says also Knights of Darkness is coming soon.
Yes, we have Knights of Darkness, which is it's coming out the 30th of this month. The first episode is already dropped on all of our other shows, so you can listen to it there. But the first season is going to be Vampire the Masquerade.
Very cool.
I actually get to play in that one, and I am playing I can't remember now. I've got so many characters.
Gee, I wonder why.
I know I'm an asshole.
Fair enough. Are you doing a Diablo? Someone goes Diablo podcast?
Diablo podcast? No, but I mean,
someone else goes, I'd like a podcast about music that you've never heard of.
that is impossible for me. I have heard of every single type of music.
Someone else, Rolo says Uno podcast.
Ah, that one's gold. We're doing that one.
Uno podcast.
My daughter loves Uno. We played so much over the last few days again. It's been awesome. Final Fantasy podcast someone recommends?
I think there's actually one coming to Spotify soon. I think one of our network hosts is going to start one. I don't want to dive into that because there's way too much.
There's a lot, man. That is a twisted web of stuff. Jared, I'm not even going to say that. I won't say it. I won't. He loves this movie. He just through and through. He'll never going to give it up. Never going to let it go.
I got it. Don't worry.
Yeah. There it is. That's what we think about that suggestion, sir.
No,
sir. But so we got a lot to talk about. So you got all these amazing things. Check out Almighty Crit on all of his podcasts, on all of his social medias. Please give him a follow. Check him out. So cool. Before we get started, let's go ahead and get through some housekeeping. So, a couple things. First one, if you don't already, you can check us out on Spotify. We exist there. You can check out our podcast there, as well as everywhere else you find your podcast. But we do exist on Spotify. I also have a special announcement. We now are streaming both on Twitch at twitch.tv/MindGapPodcast, as well as YouTube. You're streaming live there concurrently at the same time. We do our podcasts live on Tuesdays at 8 p.m. Central, and we do the video game streams on Saturdays at 8 p.m. Central. So please come check us out on both those spots. And if you could do us a huge favor, this would mean a lot to us. Head over to Twitch, hit that follow button, head over to YouTube, smash that subscribe button. It would mean the world to us. We just started a YouTube Shorts playlist, and it's kind of gotten a little bit of traction. Some people have gotten some views on some of the stuff that we've done. So if you could just do us a solid, head over to YouTube, hit subscribe. It'd mean the world to us as we're trying to build up that stuff over there. It'd be great. Also, since we do record our podcasts live, like you said, you can catch us on Twitch and YouTube. The Twitch video on demands, the VODs, will only be available to subscribers. So if you do want to catch it after we've streamed, you can head over to YouTube and check that out, or just wait for the audio drop on Thursdays to catch all that good stuff. So, bam, there you go, all for that. Next up, please join our Discord server. Very simple. We've got a wonderful community of people. We post wonderful memes. We talk about all sorts of things. We set up game nights. People are playing Halo Infinite right now, multiplayer. Like, people are just getting in with that. Justin, I thought of you last night as we were playing and all the fun things you used to do in Halo. I remember how much fun you'd had.
I owned Halo when I played that game. I owned anyone that played against me by sitting in a corner, staring at a wall so they could not find me. And then as soon as they got close, I'd blow myself up so they couldn't get the kill.
Yes.
I owned.
He won. So it's a good time. So come check out our Discord. Join us. We've got a lot of fun stuff over there. You can head over to twitch.tv/MindGapPodcast. There's a link in the About section to Discord, and I'm also going to start putting them into our YouTube videos so you can easily do it from there. Crit, as you said that, I'm like, why aren't I putting the links to our Discord in our show notes? We should do that. Like, what am I doing?
Do it.
Let's do it. Let's do it. So please come hang out with us. Join our community. We've grown so much in a year. It's been great. It's been so exciting to meet new people and just get a chance to hang out. It's been great. Next up, please check out our merch at redbubble.com. Head over to Redbubble, type in Mind Gap Podcast, and you'll find a couple of our designs there. We've got our classic Mind Gap logo there, as well as a spray paint version. And then, of course, the I Will Haunt Your Butt. Little ghost is there as well. Pick yourself up something nice for the holidays. You deserve it. It's super good. There we go. And of course, like I mentioned, we do our video game live stream on Saturdays. This Saturday, it's Left 4 Dead 2, baby. We're getting back into it. We're calling it now. For whatever reason, those shorts have been doing really well. People love the Left 4 Dead 2 stuff. And Slotty mentioned specifically the two that are doing really well are the ones where he's fucking up in Left 4 Dead 2. I don't know if that's a coincidence, but they're great moments. And Jared mentioned we need a clip of him dangling in the elevator shaft and Doug knocking the people off trying to help. I need to find out where that is, and I absolutely want to put that one in because that was a fun one. But Left 4 Dead 2 is one of my favorite games, so come check it. Left my dad too. Jesus, Noah. Yeah, so 8 p.m. Central Time on Saturday. Come hang out, watch. It's usually a shit show. It's fun. It's a really good time. I'm looking forward to it. And last Saturday, we had ourselves a Jackbox night, which was so much fun. Jill joined us, which was great. And that girl got lit. That girl had a bottle of wine, and boy, was she on the struggle bus at the end of the night. But we had some fun. I posted a clip of that already in our YouTube shorts of one of the many inappropriate things that was said or done in that show. I'm sure I'll have plenty more to post. It was a really great time. So please come check us out this Saturday. Hang out with us. We'd love to see you there. With that, housekeeping closed. So, Mr. Crit.
Yes, sir.
You are a man of many things. Oh, that's right. We got to meet the real Elmo. I forgot about that. There was a guy who joined us on the chat, and he was super enjoyable. Super nice person. Yeah, it was very cool.
Awesome.
Very cool.
I didn't get. I missed this.
Yeah, it's all right. Their name was the real Elmo, and I was like, cool.
The real Elmo.
Yeah, it's like the Ohio State.
Not a real Elmo.
Which is hauntingly just more horrifying. It's a real Elmo because it means there's many of them, and I don't like that.
Yeah.
No.
Wolf's Lore says, "Hey Justin, I see you rocking hair. Good shit."
We had a discussion for everyone listening to the audio version of the podcast. I am the only haired person on the podcast right now. We had a discussion about me shaving my head during the episode. We'll see where the night takes us. I'm not saying I'm not going to do it.
Yeah. There you go. Anything's
Don't make
possible.
promises you can't keep.
Right? Right?
We'll see.
So, Crit, you have all these podcasts, man. What makes you makes you so inspired?
Why?
Let's ask what everyone wants to know. How?
Why?
What do you
How?
do this to yourself?
So let's start with the why. So I'm gonna get dark for a moment.
Let's do it.
I don't want to bring the mood down a little bit, but I'm gonna.
Let's do it.
You ask these questions.
He says as he giggles.
It's terrible. So I was. So long story short, D&D has been it's been a thing for me for years. At 22, I think we're on 22 years.
Wow.
And it's played a huge part of my life. It's one of the biggest reasons I could come out of my shell. It was one of the bigger reasons that I never let go of being who I am. It's who I am. It's played a very important role in my life. And after getting out of the military, when you go from a life where they tell you what to do, what to wear, how you should act, your life is completely controlled, to freedom again. It's hard to get back to the norm.
Sure.
Not to mention all the deep and dark stuff you got to deal with. But the TTRPG community was there every step of the way. I mean, I got my biggest support from my nerds. Okay. They were always there. And as I continued to play and I continued to grow and I continued to come back out of my shell and figure out who I was again, I started to hear these stories that we spun, and I started to listen to the fun banter that my party had and my friends had. And I thought, you know what? I was able to get such a wonderful gift from this game. These experiences, these laughter, these moments filled with laughter and joy. I don't want to be greedy, and I don't want to keep it to myself. I want to be able to share this with the world, because my biggest goal in life is to bring as much happiness to the world as I can. That is the only thing I've ever wanted to do. It's the reason I joined the military. It's the reason I wanted to grow up and be a firefighter and do all these wonderful things. I want to save people. I want to make a difference. I want to make the world better. It's my only objective in life. And if I can't do that through the military anymore, and I can't do that through action-packed gunfights that never happened. I want to bring it through what I'm good at, and I'm good at storytelling. As what I've been told. I don't know. I don't know. But I want to share joy with the world. I want somebody to tune into our podcast, listen to it, laugh their asses off the whole way through, and just smile. Having a bad day, I want you to smile. I want you to remember those wonderful moments. And one show wasn't enough. I didn't feel like it was enough. I didn't feel like we were reaching the people we could. It's not about the money for me. In fact, I've talked with a lot of my fellow hosts on each one of these shows, or the cast members in the shows. And if we ever get big, we've already decided that I guarantee you, if not half, 3/4 of the proceeds will go back to charities.
That's beautiful.
Wow, that's awesome, man.
You got to have enough to pay the bills because these lights are expensive. But everything that we don't need, and it's need, not want. Of course, everybody wants to drive the fancy Porsche and everything. We don't need that. We're simple people. We love a simple life. We want to bring joy. That's it. So we've discussed and decided, we're going to continue to do that as much as possibly can. My dream is to be able to sit on the big stage like Critical Role and be like, hey, how's everybody doing tonight? And just bring joy.
That would be incredible. That's such a great motive behind this.
Yeah, that's really awesome, man. I think that's such a it's such a great thing. Because like I got started in D&D very late, like 3 years ago for the very first time, and I started just dipping my toes into it, and I fell in love with it, and then I instantly was like, I want to DM. So I did. I DM'd like for about a year for one thing. One campaign. Like it was like Lost Mines of Phandelver. So it was just like an intro thing. So I played through it, and I was like, now I want to DM this.
Yeah.
I got so into it. I was like, this is so cool, because it's the idea of telling a story, right? Like everyone could play the Lost Mines of Phandelver, but everyone could have a different experience, and that to me was absolutely fascinating, based on how people are playing and what they're doing, and which is always compelling. But when I first started, and we just jumped right into it, and I was like, and then the DM goes, okay, what do you want to do? And I was like, what are my options? He's like, you can do whatever you want. I was like,
dang.
What? I don't know. Like, and it was overwhelming just to be like, to do whatever you wanted, and it was crazy. And I got to the point, like, as I started listening to things like Critical Role, hearing people just the idea, like especially the idea of being a DM was so crazy. It still is to me, where it's like, how do you plan on everything that's going to happen? It's like you can sort of plan for some, but then you just have to like let go and be like, this is where it's happening, this is where it's going. And because you don't want to railroad, because that leads for a terrible experience.
Choo-choo.
Right? Yeah. Toot toot. Justin, where were you, man? We're on the train whistle.
I'm enjoying listening. Did that
I appreciate
it. Whistle?
Yeah,
we had
you
one.
got one for the.
No, we pulled that.
Oh no!
We pulled that from the web last week. I never actually put it on the soundboard.
Gotcha.
Wah, wah, wah.
How about is it?
There we go. Close enough. Close
Cool.
enough.
Close enough for government work.
Yeah, there you go. But I fell in love with the idea of it, and just hearing these stories being told and everything like that. Like I'm 100% with you. Like it's something that, to allow yourself the opportunity just to play and have fun and tell this story together. This is gonna sound so out of context. This is something you would clip out of context and be like, oh wow, and this is for Doug's anti-political ad. I was like, the pandemic has been a blessing, and here's why. But the idea being that all of these things that normally I didn't have time for, or other people didn't have time for, they have been like, well, I'm stuck at home and I want to do something, so now I guess I will play games with people, which is why we transitioned so heavily into Twitch anyway. It was because Justin and I used to meet in the basement of a bar and record our podcast on a shitty phone and just terrible audio, and just
We're on the up and up.
yeah, it was just it was what, and then we were like, we have to figure this out, and we realized, oh my gosh, like we could actually really use Twitch what it's for, which is playing games and doing all sorts of stuff like that, and then just getting more involved with some people are very purist, like I only do D&D and tabletop if I'm physically there, like I won't do it digitally, and all I've ever done is digital because I'm like there's so much more I can do digitally physically in person. So it's been such a wonderful experience in that regard to connect with people that I normally wouldn't have been able to connect with, and also get to the point where I'm like, wait, I'm actually in the process of trying to build a one-shot for Justin and a couple other guys that have never done D&D before to kind of get them like...
I got into D&D even later.
It still hasn't happened yet, so... But it's one of those things where I'm trying to build this out so that, because he's done the Dungeons and Dragons, the fantasy adventure board game, which is super linear, but it's a great intro into kind of like, okay, what's possible and everything. It dips the toes in, but this one is going to be really like, I want him to turn him loose. I want to see what sort of shit, because Justin's an X factor in everything he does in a good way. You don't know what Justin's going to do, and it's always awesome.
I'll either make the game awesome or I'll tank it.
Yeah. And it'll be absolutely
you can't
wonderful.
Tank it. That's the best part.
Yeah. Absolutely. But that being said, as I'm sort of preparing this one shot for Justin and some other folks, Justin, brand new to all this, what advice would you give him as a player as we're getting relatively close to starting this, hopefully in the next month or two? What advice would you give to him he's never played anything like this before, never done anything like this before? What advice would you give him?
So the first and foremost thing I will start off with is don't try to read the entire player's handbook in one night and expect to memorize everything. Don't bother.
I will I hear you, and I will raise you. I'm not planning on reading anything.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Your DM will know what you need to know, and he will tell you what you need to know, and that's it.
I'm planning on that.
It's honestly...
Is there a player's hand? If Doug's creating a one-shot, is there a player's handbook? Is there a reference guide for me, or is that something Doug creates?
No, there's a standard set of rules. There you go. Dun, 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 dun.
All right, I'm going to ask you to open up to page 1, and we're just going to sit here.
All right, you ready for this?
Listen, he's got it memorized. After 22 years, he can read it to you.
That's true. You better.
You can recite it to you verbatim.
Memorized.
Let us begin, my children. Yeah, there's you have a book for everything. Well, let's take a step back. You have a book for almost everything in D&D. It all depends on your DM, which leads me into my number 2 recommendation is don't read the book. Here's better. Here's a better way to put it. Don't expect the monster that you see or hear about before you to be exactly what you think it is, because that's where my favorite part of D&D, the homebrew aspect, comes into play.
Okay.
The DM has full control of the game. You walk in there and you're like, oh, spiders, fire. Oh, well, guess what? They just became fire resistant.
Throw us little curveballs here and there.
Yeah.
Right.
It's best when playing to expect nothing.
Yes, I think that's fair.
Okay.
Expect nothing.
Cool.
Go in with ambitions and expectations from your DM, however. That's what you can expect. Expect to have a good time. And expect to share that if you're not having a good time. It is the most frustrating thing as a DM when I'm sitting at a table with new players and one person is not having a good time and they sit on their phone or they start drawing on their paper, and I look at them and I go, okay, what would you like to do? And they go, huh? What do you mean, huh? I've been talking for the last 2 hours. What do you mean, huh?
Yeah. Well, I think the thing that I have going into this, which is nice, is that I understand from a very just from a logical level, I understand what Doug's put into this. And so I feel like if at minimum you'll get attention out of me. At minimum.
That's That's all you can give your DM, honestly. That is the best thing. And when it's all over, give your honest feedback, because a DM cannot improve their skill if they don't get honest feedback. I don't know how many times I've had people turn around 3 weeks after the game's over and they're like, I really liked it, but why didn't you tell me that night when I said, what did you guys think? Like, y'all worried about hurting my feeling. I'm not going to get any better. You have to critique. Be honest. Be honest in your critiques. Now, as you as a player, this is what I recommend to you.
All right.
You're not going to like this. You are not going to like this, Doug.
Hey, lay it on him. I love it. It's the truth. Maybe.
Shoot for the moon, because if you miss, you'll still hit those stars. So if you want to do it, you do it.
I 100% agree.
You don't know how many I've killed some of the most ridiculous beasts in the most ridiculous manners. I rode a giant spider off of a cliff because I didn't want to fight it. I rode it off of a cliff. I said, we're doing this. I tamed it, rode it off a cliff, and it died. I survived.
You tamed it. You took the time to tame it, and then you killed it.
If by tamed it, you mean stabbed a blade in its face and just kind of drove it like a stick shift, yes, I tamed it.
In my mind, I'm like, I built a corral.
No.
I bought a cattle dog to get it in there. And then over the course of months, maybe years, I developed a bond with it, and I taught it tricks.
No.
I took it to the show.
It imprinted on me, you know?
You're right, exactly.
I jumped on it, smacked that ass, said, you mine now. Rode it off cliff.
That kind of training. I got you. I get that.
No, I think Crit makes a really good point, because again, what I was paralyzed by the fact was, you can do whatever you want. You really can. Doesn't mean it's not without consequences.
Exactly.
That's why Matt Mercer's famous line of "you can certainly try," when someone asks if they can do something, he's like, "Of course you can. You can try, whether or not it works."
Well, and I think to your point, Doug, that previous game that you were DMing, you said you gave them some magic paint or something.
Oh yeah. That was a terrible idea.
And immediately, like, well, can we just draw a door to like the end of the level or whatever?
Like, did we just have fast travel? I immediately had to go in and correct it. I was like, I did not see.
Yes. It's so.
Slotty admits it. He goes, I abused it immediately. They absolutely did. I was like,
on this rock and walk through it.
I immediately was like, I fucked this up. Isn't what it's supposed to be used for? But I didn't think about that, and that's the beauty of it, is you can't think of everything, and you're gonna find some creative way to do something that I haven't thought of. Or you're going to easily destroy something and be like, well, that was disappointing. Or it's going to be like, this should be easy, and this thing's going to fucking crush you. And those are the things I'm most terrified of, but we're going to get through it together, you know?
Yeah.
See, I have one of those. We briefly talked about it before the show. We have our mascot, Charlie Transmutation. The cat folk that can vomit up anything it wants.
Mm-hmm.
This thing was a transmutation bag that I gave my party members, which means they can shove anything they want into it and it turns to just pure energy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And they can pull whatever they want as long as it's equivalent in material.
Equivalent exchange, just like
Exactly.
Full Metal Alchemist. Very good.
Except for they abused this and put bodies in there. It was their murder storage device, essentially. And because it was infinite. I gave them an infinite one thinking, not a big deal. They started shoving dead bodies, living bodies, everything they could went in this bag, and I got tired of it. So this is the creative part you have to get into, and this only comes with experience as DMing. It got to a point where I knew that it didn't matter what they did. I threw at them. The campaign was over. They God mode it. That's it.
Yeah.
So I took the bag away in the best way possible. I first gave it sentience, and it refused to eat any organic item.
On a diet.
It's on a diet.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And because I kept track of everything they were shoving into it, I transmuted souls to give it a life. Like it was real. It was living. They continued to force feed it things. They found ways around this rule. And I said, that's great. That's what I wanted.
You knew they were going to do it.
I knew they were going to do it. So after force feeding it, one morning they woke up and the bag was gone. But they heard rustling on the outside of their tents. When they opened it, there's this cat that is completely insane, breaks the fourth wall all the time, and vomits up anything it wants because it's full of absolutely everything. And it just took off. It hung out with him for a while and said, right, I'm gone. But before it left, the party, to get my last dig at the party, they would ask for items for him to cough up, and he'd cough up the most random items. The fork of fornication was born that day.
Tell me more.
Oh, I mean,
they asked for a long sword that could produce flame, some sort of flammability. We just need something that lights us on fire. And I, of course, we'll pull the voice for you. You want a sword? Okay. Coughs up. Insert fork of fornication. If you hold the fork, you immediately want to fornicate with whatever living object is near you.
So tell me, how fast did the cat get fucked? Just lay it on me. How quick did it happen?
Nobody picked it up. Nobody. I was like, I worked so hard on this.
I have something to shove back in the cat.
I want to force feed it something.
I want to force feed it something.
I want to give you a gift. You got a pretty mouth, kitty.
What's in the cat?
I love how Jared just simplified it into the fuck fork. I love it.
The fuck fork. Yeah, but I mean, I took it away in the most creative way I could, and thus was born the most iconic character of all of our D&D sessions.
Yeah.
Well, and I guess the nice thing with that then is because this cat ran away, at any point, this thing can show back up just to throw potentially a literal wrench in the middle of everything.
And it quite often does.
Yeah. I love it.
Is actually now the deity of trickery and deceit
Of course.
in our campaigns. So
Perfect.
he just spawns up all the time, and I punish them repeatedly for it's my nice little reminder to the party. Hey, don't try to act like you're bigger than me, because I will take you down.
Don't abuse my shit.
It's true. I mean,
I gave you a gift.
I'm not there to try and, I've heard the horror stories of DMs who are just drunk on power and they see this as just a vessel for them to have something in their life that they can do. So, so I'm always very afraid of that. Like, I don't want that to happen at all. But there's also, like, what's kind of beautiful about, the game is that anything can be changed if you want.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's some things that's like, I mean, personally, I hate the spell guidance. I think it's dumb. I think
it's stupid.
It's a dumb spell.
I'm gonna give you additional abilities to maybe hit something.
Here's a constant plus D4 that you can just have on everything just because I say it, and I fucking hate that spell, and I got so mad when there's just like, I'm like, this is a dumb spell. Why would I ever have to do this? C2, what's up, girl? How you doing? Welcome to the stream. Good to see you. But yeah, it's one of those things where the creativity to adjust and to, I don't know, I guess the thing I just want to make sure I impart to everyone as we get started, I was like, this is your story. I'm just helping you tell it. Right. Like, that's really what it is. Like, because we joke a lot when we play the board game. We're like, what's Doug have in store for us? I'm like, I mean, I literally have a map that tells me where everything is, and yes, I'm doing that, but I didn't build this. It's what the thing tells me. Whereas with this thing, like, I'm building it, and I will have some things, some obstacles and stuff I'll put in there, but I am so terrified, Justin, that you guys, this is going to be a cakewalk for you, because there's something that I've not thought of that you guys are just going to go, whoop, or what I have is just so, like, just one track that you guys are like, no, we're going to do this instead. I'm going to be like, oh, shit. This is not what I thought was going to happen.
For everything.
Oh, no.
And but at the same time, I'm like, you know what? It'll be fun. And if it doesn't go well, so what? It'll be interesting regardless. Like, I do not bully you in the dungeon, Karens, Jared. That's false. If anything, you guys bully me relentlessly.
I have paid witness to this. I have to agree with Doug on this one.
I do not. That's crazy.
Oh,
what?
I mean, look, I will say, as far as colors go, you do need to get your monitor checked, Doug.
Talk about the colors. What's red? What's gray? What's
lies and slander.
It's fair enough. That's fair enough. I agree with that. But I'm very much looking forward to running this with Justin and some of the other folks. I think it'll be fun, just because because I also understand that for folks like Justin and some of these other players, they can't do a 3-year commitment to a game.
Oh, no.
It's
No.
just
We could, we won't.
exactly. It's
At least not yet. Here's the thing: if you do this right, we might.
yeah, and that's
This is
the
all
thing.
on you, Doug.
Because I understand that this is a
No pressure.
commitment.
No
Like
pressure.
we did Lost Mines of Phandelver, and we basically every single week for about a year, and that was a pretty basic campaign. There's not a whole lot to it, and it's thanks. Everyone's like, don't F it up. Thank you, C2. Appreciate it. It's so I understand, like in your in your interest of your time and what you guys have available, I would love you to experience a piece of this, have fun. That's what's kind of great about a one shot anyway, is you can be reckless. Because it's like, if this character dies, whatever, I'm not doing anything with him anyway. I mean, I get to start at a certain level. I could kind of have fun, It's like it'll be interesting to see like what happens. And I'm gonna throw some wild stuff in there to see what you guys do with it, And what'll be great is most of you won't know what it is, and you won't know like that something could have horrific effects if you mess with it. And it's like, whatever, it's up to you.
I want to give my character some quirk where he's got like I feel like this could be fun and also throw again a huge wrench into everything, where like every time you pass by any body of water, big or small, puddle to ocean, he has to drink out of it. Every time he passes a rock, he's got to kick it, or he's got to hug a tree, or
Those are the perfect ticks.
Some quirk that's just gonna get us into trouble and potentially lead us way off the beaten path.
So they've added us to the new 5th edition, which I love. You've got your bonds, your ideals, like you have these things about you.
Okay.
I didn't think that was enough when we started playing, so I added fears, phobias, and manias to the characters. And some of the manias that people have rolled, like one of the manias is they have to say a certain word at the end of every sentence. One of them was they have to consistently snort gasoline.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's insane. Nobody's rolled that one, but it's one of the options.
Jesus Christ, that's wild.
But yeah, I added fear, phobias, and manias because I was like, I need the one thing I will say is the most important and last thing I will say for advice for you is when you start playing D&D, get into your role.
Okay.
Come up with a silly voice. Know your character inside and out. You are not you when you play D&D. You are someone completely different. You are telling a character's story on their behalf. Just like the Dungeon Master is not the boss of the game. He's just the one who's rolling out the obstacles in front of the goal that you're trying to reach. That is his or her whole objective in the game, is to put those obstacles forth before you. And the best way, this is for you, Doug. The best way I have found to DM is to do absolutely zero research.
Okay. What do you mean by that?
Walk in there with your main plot points.
Okay.
So if we're doing Curse of Strahd, okay, and I'm comfortable and everybody else at the table is comfortable with homebrew rules and homebrew material and whatever, I will walk in there and go, okay, my plot point 1 is they have to get to Barovia. Okay. So how do I get them to where the Curse of Strahd takes place? I'll figure that out when I get to the table. That's plot point 1. They have to go to Barovia. Plot point number 2 is they have to know who the bad guy is. So he has to introduce himself the first time. Plot point number 3 is, okay, well, they have to know that they're in mortal danger. So I have to put them in mortal danger to let them know that this is for real. 3, so on and so forth. These are my plot points. How they get there is completely up to them. So there is no way for them to throw me a curveball because the whole thing's a curveball and the whole thing has to be improvised.
I like that because that means like when, you're like, I have this tower, this very dangerous tower that they're going to have to go through. Someone goes, I want to climb the vines on the outside. You're like, all right, roll a strength check, a natural 20. Yep. They just climbed the tower and got to the top. You're like, shit. They just bypassed everything I put in front of them. Shit. Yeah. It's one of those things where, you don't basically get screwed over that way.
I have a logistical question.
Yes.
Okay.
This is something that has always thrown me. It still throws me, and I'm assuming that once I start playing it, it will kind of reveal itself. But in an instance like that, let's say that there is a tower, and I'm assuming that as the DM, theoretically, you've spent days coming up with what's
Yeah.
in this tower, and you're like, okay, they're going to enter, and there's going to be these kind of traps. It's a spiral staircase, and there's doors off the side, and there's these kind of yada yada. You build this whole thing.
Yep.
And someone decides to climb the tower and just says, fuck all of that. When they get to the top of the tower, or maybe they're on the roof of the tower, are you as the DM just making up? You're like, and now there's a spider that comes out. Like, are you guys improvising
Yes.
as much as the players are? Or-
Sometimes, yes. Like,
Yeah.
here's my thing. If
What stops you from just going, and then a dragon?
That's what makes you a bad.
No.
That's a bad DM right there. It's like mad that you outthought them that they're like, I'm going to punish you.
Yeah. So there's a couple what we call house rules for DMs. Some DMs go nat 20. I don't care. Like skill checks. Me personally, nat 20 is a nat 20. Like you got it, man. Nailed it. I am proud of you.
Cool.
Some DMs are like, okay, you can't nat 20 on a skill check, but you can nat 20 on attacks. That's about the only thing.
Okay.
There are it's house rules, essentially. That's the thing with the DM when he gets to the table. He or she needs to establish house rule. Like, this is the way it's going to be. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. That's the same point when you, as a DM, establish with your players, where are the no-go zones? Like, what can we discuss?
Okay.
So that being out of the way, we get back to your question of the tower. Okay. So this is where we've established our home rules. So if I, as the DM, have said nat 20s aren't nat 20s on skill checks, I don't care if you get a 20. It takes a 27 to climb the tower. So you're still not climbing that bad boy. Sorry. Now, I'm the nat 20 DM. Nat 20 is a nat 20. But there's nothing saying that climb isn't going to be a series of checks.
Exactly.
Because that tower is, 120 feet in the air. You are not climbing 120 foot off of one skill check. Sorry, bub. I need 6. You managed to nat 26 of them. First off, I'm checking your dice to see if they're loaded because that's ridiculous. No. But, the second thing is if you managed to do it all, I'm proud of you. You did it. That's an achievement.
Okay.
But yeah, at this point, I am totally flying off the seat of my pants. And I have to figure out what's going to come next. Usually, that's where I turn around and say, give me a second. Or maybe this whole time that they've been rolling those checks, my brain, I really don't. I already have the number. I know what number you need to pass through all 6 of those checks. I am on the other side trying to think, they're going to pass. So what do I have to throw at them? So I will frantically flip through the monster manual, or I will flip through the catalog of what's in my brain and go, I'm thinking that when they get to the top of this tower, I want to throw something that's not going to necessarily kill them, but challenge them. Because the whole fun of D&D isn't just the creative aspect. It's the challenges that I place forth before you.
Okay.
That's the fun part. So in this case, I'm not going to throw a dragon. In fact, I'm going to throw a will-o-wisp. I'm going to throw 3 will-o-wisps because they're easy enough. Their challenge rating is low enough, but you're not expecting it.
I like
or,
that.
Hey, I'll throw a portal. You get to the top. The minute you climb over the top of it, it portals you inside to the, 3 floors from the top.
Okay.
And you're like, what's going on? Well, the wizard was smarter than that. He wasn't just going to let you walk on in. Like, come on.
Right.
You've been fighting the whole game to get to this point.
You're like, yeah. There's no way he would have ever expected anyone to climb the tower. I mean, he was totally ready for you to.
Jeez, come on. That's
6 nat 20s. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I like about that too, because maybe you get all the way up there, you get up there, and guess what? There's a hatch, and the hatch is locked, and your character doesn't know how to pick locks, and now you're like, well, shit, I climbed all the way up here by myself, and now I'm like, what do you do? I don't know. Do you want to try those 6 checks to see if you can get back down without dying? Or. If you did, okay, are you alerting to people? Are you making noise when you're climbing up? Are you making like, oh, you're grunting or you're doing stuff? Does that alert other stuff inside the tower, which could lead to X, Y, and Z? Because in one of the games, the game I DM'd, they were going to like a castle and they were stealthing around the castle and they had bad stealth checks. And they came to a part where There were 2 hobgoblins who were keeping just stalwart watch. They saw them. They alerted the entire castle that they were coming. And some of the feedback I got was one of the guys was like, dude, this feels like a death trap. I'm like, keep in mind, you guys got spotted. Like, you guys, it is a death trap because after you got spotted, you went inside. Like, everyone knows you're there. Like, that's on you. Like, I mean, I don't know what to tell you. Like, you could have walked away. I mean, if you wanted, but everyone knew you were there. So if that's your choice, I mean, that's cool. You kick in, and they were successful. They kicked down the doors. You know, they busted their way through. They made it. But I'm like, hey, I'm sorry. But yeah, that is a death trap. They know you're there. So that's what's going to happen.
And you know, the thing is a lot of people get invested with their characters, and they quite often forget you can run away.
Yep.
You can run away and live to fight another day. Figure it out. Go back, gather allies.
Yeah.
Go back at a different time, being like, all right, they caught us. We escaped barely.
Yeah.
Let's try in the middle of the night this time when there's not as many guards.
Yeah.
You know,
That's going to be a thing for me to wrap my head around, because in this board game that we're playing, I'm like, all right, I can run away 5 spaces and then I can run away 5 more. And now I'm stuck.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that game does not lend itself to that much creativity.
No. With D&D, you are only limited by your own imagination.
Yeah.
100%. DM and player both. You are only limited by your imagination. It can get as crazy as you want. I mean, when we just had Wolf come and guest play with us, he played a goose. He was a goose the whole game. And because he's like, I want to play something funny. You guys are hilarious. I need something that's going to fit. And I want to be over the top that the cast isn't expecting. I was like, well, you could play a goose. Nobody expects a goose.
Wolf is a goose.
That's pretty amazing.
It's great. It's great. We've got party members. We've got Ampersand the Other. That's his name. Ampersand the Other. He's lawful, chaotic, stupid. That's the easiest way to explain him. He is a raging barbarian with like little to no intelligence. So it's hard to keep, this is the party I got to deal with, and to keep them on track, it really tests your ability as a DM. How am I going to get them on track? And sometimes I've been caught railroading, but it's funny because I turn it into a joke.
Yeah.
I used Charlie Transmutation in one episode to drive a literal train.
That's amazing.
It is what you make of it. D&D is 100% what you make it. And all TTRPGs are the same way. It is what you make of it. And in fact, every single role-playing game book you buy, the front page, it will say, DM rules all. These rules are literally a guideline to fun. Yeah. It does not need to be followed to the T.
Yeah.
So
I'm more excited than I think I have been in a long time for this thing now, after talking with you.
I'm so excited to do character creation with you and the other folks, because I just want to see, because what I want to do is I want to give you guys access to everything. I want you to take a week, and I want you just to go through and see what's there, because you have a lot of options, and I want to see what you come up with. I want to walk you through everything. I cannot wait to just get started with you all and just see what happens, because I'm expected personally just to be thoroughly entertained by you all and see what happens. Because what I expect is just to sit back and just watch as you guys do whatever it is you're gonna do, and
tear the walls down off everything.
Yeah, just it'll be amazing, and it's I'm very much looking forward to it. So I think Crit's given you and me and everyone some wonderful advice. I think this is excellent. If you're curious about D&D, I was always overwhelmed by it. I always thought, I can't be that vulnerable. I can't role play. It's not who I am. And you just realize that it doesn't have to be that. This isn't theater. You don't even have to do a voice if you don't want to. Just like you said. Fair enough. By the way, the chat said, Justin, whatever you do, you have to be Gilbert Gottfried. Like, you have to use that voice. No matter what you do, you have to do it. Yes. So you could be the most noble paladin of just whatever, but you're still just Gilbert Gottfried, doing whatever you're doing.
We've got to save the villagers.
There it is. It's perfect. And everyone's going to follow that man into battle because, they know where he is at all times, Justin plays a princess as Gilbert Gottfried.
Yes.
That's what I'm talking
We
about.
need this.
Anything is possible.
Princess Gilbert
Life
Godfrey.
now is to get on Critical Role as Princess Gilbert Godfrey.
If you do that, I want to get in on Charlie Transmutation.
Exactly, 100%.
I want to see the tomfoolery that ensues with these two.
Oh God, yes.
Someone start up the cat. I've got an idea.
This guy's got an idea. Let's go! Woo!
Bring the barfy cat around.
I'm gonna put something inside of it.
Listen, I have this wonderful invention. It's called a cat pole. They'll never see it coming.
Amazing.
Somewhere in there's the aristocrats joke. I don't know where, but we'll figure it out.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's so good.
Uh,
So real quick, I want to talk about it as we kind of like start heading towards the end of the show here. But
How long have we been going? I didn't even.
yeah, we're
I started this late. I don't know where
we've been rolling.
Holy cow.
We've been rolling. It's been crazy. But it was announced today that the new Spider-Man No Way Home trailer was being released. I think just before we went live, and all the stuff that has been coming out about this, all the speculation, all the news, and everything like that. I've gotten to the point now where I just don't care anymore, and I wish everyone would just shut the fuck up and we'll just like go watch the movie because
Yes.
I posted in our Discord today. There was a tweet from someone where they had posted the exact times in all time zones when the trailer would be dropping, and I was like, "Is this what we're doing? Is this what we're doing?" And for the record, Jared said no spoilers. I haven't watched it. I don't intend on watching it. So, and yeah, to anyone in the chat, don't spoil it either. But like, I have zero. E-Toy says, "I can't believe they brought in both Woody and Buzz. Crazy, so unexpected."
Dynamic duo.
Because part of what I love about this is I love the enjoyment, that the excitement that the fans have for it, and but the problem is, and Justin and I have talked about this before, is sometimes the fans craft their own perfect story in their mind of what's going to happen and what they want to happen, and when it doesn't happen, they're so let down that they hate the movie.
Right.
And with this.
Yeah.
This is, I feel like, has gone off the rails as far as what people's expectations are, what the fan theories are, and I'm over it.
I feel like, and I could be wrong, maybe I'm misremembering because it's been a few years now, but I think more so than any Avengers movie, like the peak of each phase, any full Avengers movie, I feel like this has gotten more speculation than any of the movie of the 20-something odd movies leading up to it. I don't know what the fuck people, I don't know what they've been eating or drinking, but like something's on the water on this one. I don't know why.
I think it's the multiverse.
I
It's
agree.
the multiverse. It's when it comes with Thanos, everybody was, oh, cool, the Infinity Stones, blah, blah, blah. It wasn't until Loki dropped on Disney Plus that people went, oh, we're talking about the multiverse.
Right.
Hold on to your pants. And now they're dropping, we're going and starting to dive into the multiverse. And that's what everyone is losing their ever-loving minds about is multiverse.
Don't get me wrong, that's exciting as fuck. Like it's cool, but let's let it play out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. Like C2 says, Spider-Verse changed the game. I mean, that was a really great standalone film where you're like, oh, look at all the cool things you could accomplish with this. And, you know, what's been so great about the Marvel Universe is how everything is tied together and cameos that pop in here and there and all these characters. And the idea that, you know, could potentially Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire show up because we've got Oscar Molina showing up as Doc Ock and the Green Goblin. It's like, anything is possible. And I part of me just, because I think even Kevin Feige said the fans essentially are going to be disappointed because they have talked this up so much. They've invented what their what they think their is the movie's going to be about, and when it doesn't go there, they're going to be fucking pissed. And I've done that to myself.
Oh yeah.
You know, I've done that to myself where I've got myself so pumped that about a possibility that I think would be so cool. When they don't do it, I'm like, why didn't they do that? You know, it would be so much better if it was just this. And I'm scared that this movie is not going to do well because of that. I think the audience reaction may be I mean, I think this movie's gonna make a lot of money. People are gonna go see it. People love Spider-Man. Spider-Man, I think, is one of the most popular, if not the most popular, Marvel character out there. And the franchise it just makes bank regardless of anything. And people are gonna go see it. But I'm just worried that everyone is just getting so just jacked that it's not going to meet their expectations, and they're going to be really pissed when it's done.
I mean, see, I agree fully with what C2 put in the chat here, and essentially, and I've had this, I've subscribed to this for a long time, is that expectations tend to lead to disappointment. If you have an expectation on something and that thing or that person doesn't deliver, you're immediately disappointed. Like, and as she said, be open to possibilities. Don't expect the thing.
Yeah.
If you're open to the possibilities, you can hope, but don't expect, because expectations, sometimes your expectations are met and holy shit, is it amazing. But man, when they don't, that is a fucking letdown.
So I would be remiss if I did not bring up the Sonic the Hedgehog problem.
Okay. Tell us more.
Okay. So when the Sonic the Hedgehog movie was released, I don't know about you guys, but I love Sonic the Hedgehog, so I was pumped.
Mm-hmm.
But the character looked like absolute garbage.
Yep.
Terrifying.
Horrifying.
The fans lost their minds. I thought flaming trash cans are going to throw them through windows over this. And the studio was like, all right, cool, our bad. Now, I'm so happy they did that. But the problem therein lies is it's created a beast of a different nature, which is now the fans feel like they have total power over Hollywood's choices.
Right.
And I feel like at some degree they're trying to do that with this movie. I feel like they're trying to force it and force it and force it. And Disney's not one that Disney will flex on you real hard. Like,
well said.
Disney is essentially God of the corporate world. Like, I will smite ye down. You can't touch me. Like, they won't care. And I don't think fans realize that. Well, some of the fans don't realize that. They don't care. They're not in this to make you happy, even though it's the happiest place on earth. They're literally in it to get your money. Like,
Yes.
I want your money. I don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and the difference too between that, which again, some fans, I just don't think that they understand, is while it was a shitload of work and cost like another $30 million, all you were really doing was tweaking a piece of art. You were tweaking a graphic. With this, if they wanted to add, if the fans are like Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire, maybe you put them in, you would have to go back and do reshoots, reset,
rewrite.
It's not gonna, if it's not in there yet, if Feige's telling the truth, it just ain't gonna happen.
Yeah.
No.
Everyone just needs to chill their tits, because it's not
All right, chill your tits.
exactly. So, it's just everyone just needs to calm down, and let's go have fun at the movies. Let's go enjoy ourselves, and I think this is actually going to be the movie that gets me to go back to the theater, because I don't want shit spoiled. And I know this shit is going to get spoiled like crazy. So I think I'm going to brave the theaters and go see it, and when it comes out, and just want to make sure that I can just hopefully go and enjoy it. And then I'm keeping an open mind. I have no intention. Also, this movie's like a month away. Why do we? I don't think there needs to be another. I think the fever pitch of excitement for this movie, I don't think a trailer's needed.
Oh, you mean like Resident Evil dropping their Nightmare trailer?
Yeah. Right.
We didn't need that, but I appreciate it, but we didn't need it.
Sure. Yeah. I think, I don't know, that sort of stuff just seems like it's a traditional thing. Like, well, we've got to do it to make sure that if there's one idiot out there that doesn't know what this is, then maybe we pull them into the theater too. It's like, listen, the people that are going to see this are going to go fucking see it. All right. So
Yeah.
like, they're just chill.
We've all been watching the countdowns that we've set on our phones.
Yes.
Chill out. We don't need your help.
Yeah, exactly. We don't need any more of that. So I hope it's a good movie. I look forward to seeing it. But outside of that, I don't give a shit about anything else about the film. I don't need to hear anything else. I don't need to hear any more fucking speculation. I don't need to see any more of like this fan theory thinks that. I don't care. Keep it to yourself. Shut up and just go see the movie.
Let me know when Marvel decides to release Marvel Zombies
Mhm.
live action, and then you'll have my interest peaked
There you go.
enough to go to the movie theater.
There you
Only
go.
if Greg Nicotero can be part of it. That's my
Yes.
one requirement. Kevin Feige and Greg Nicotero pair up and
Done.
beautiful.
Kiss the butthole.
Just, kiss the butthole.
I'm showing some signs of being fucking wet.
So Doug,
Yes.
we have we have had an onslaught of questions,
We do.
and so I think it's time that we knock at least one of these out before we hit the final segment here.
Let's do it.
You got the questions, we got the answers. All you do is ask. Practical, 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 practical. Ask Practical Doug.
Gotta throw a different one in there each time.
Every time.
So I think I'm gonna let Crit decide. Which we've got 3.
I don't think I gave him any of them. So
Right. So
Oh,
I'm
okay.
so we got 3 hot ones sitting here for our Ask Practical Doug. So for those of you who are not familiar with the segment, Doug has a little person inside of him named Practical Doug. And Practical Doug often overtakes every other tiny Doug that lives inside Doug and makes him very, very practical about things. So we ask you to submit your questions to Ask Practical Doug, and Practical Doug will come out and he will answer them. So Crit, we have I'm just gonna say 1, 2, or 3. You pick 1, 2, or 3.
You know, if I'm leaving things to fate, I usually leave it up to my dice.
Oh,
Oh,
that 3-sided die.
Let's go. Where's that? Where's that?
yeah.
The triangle that just
I,
Here we go. We got this. We got this. You
we
ready?
go.
how many sides we got?
Let's
on this?
pick. Let's pick the pretty one. We got the D4 here.
Okay.
We got the D4. All right.
That's 4 sides.
Don't doesn't math. No. All right, you ready for this?
Let's do it.
Oh, that's a 4. We got to reroll.
I was like, there's 25% chance.
We got a 2. We're going 2.
All right,
2?
2.
All right. So number 2 comes from Mr. Jared from Down Under. He asks, Practical Doug, does a straw have 1 hole or 2 holes?
So glad you asked because this is very simple. It's 1 hole. Cool.
You got the questions.
No. Tell me your logic behind it.
Next question.
Next
I said
question.
Next question.
The defense rests, Your Honor. So the way Practical Doug approaches this is it is one singular hole that is pushed through, like it's a tube, right? It's a series of tubes. And there is 1 hole that connects from one end to the other. Now, I already Noah says checkmate. I love it.
These things are not being let through. I love
It's important.
He is getting stopped at every fucking chat. Every message he's throwing in here, he's getting stopped.
This is amazing because he is a mod, so I don't understand what's happening. So, but apparently he's doing all the naughty stuff. Is your mouth and your butthole 1 hole because they're connected? No. That's 2 different things.
That is a checkmate. But
It's because I timed you out. I didn't mean to time you out, by the way. Sorry about that. In this situation, like here we go. I actually have straw right here.
look,
Okay.
it comes with props.
There you go. What do you know? All right. So here we are.
All right.
But,
Jared, what do we got?
So there's 1 hole.
Yep. And then turn it around. There's another one.
Who else? I rest my case.
The way Practical Doug looks at this is that he needs to wash this, but he needs to. It is 1 hole that connects from one end to the other, and it's problematic. Practical Doug's already seeing problems with that because,
1 hole connects to the other hole.
yeah, because I'm thinking of all the different ways in which you could be like, well, no, that's 2. Because what if it was like this in a wall, right? And this was like, oh, there's 2 holes, right? If this was like behind the wall, you just saw this part. You'd be like, oh no, that's 2 holes, but it's what comes to a straw. Because I think the thing is when it's because it's a straw, right?
Yeah.
This is a simple thing that has one simple purpose, which is you suck up water from one end to the other. This is one singular thing.
I mean,
So
if that's
one
what
hole.
you're into.
Let me ask you,
That's fair enough.
Second.
so let me ask you this then. Define what a hole is. Define a hole.
I thought you would never ask. It's the thing that my wife won't get near. Okay?
I'd put my dick in worse.
Right?
Well, yeah.
Wow,
I mean, what is it?
I've never had anyone ask me to
Define a
define a hole. It
Yeah.
is a I mean, typically I guess it's a circular shape. It is something that is broken into something else. It creates a separation from something else. And yeah, I guess that's what it is. Humans are just big straws. Says E-Toy.
So there's two definitions. It's either a hollow place in a solid body or surface, or a small or unpleasant place.
All right.
A hollow place in a solid body or surface. So if that's the case, then yeah, a straw technically, I guess, would be just one giant hole.
Yeah. Because then I'm already just playing devil's
It has
advocate.
two openings. but
That's what I was gonna say, because if it's like, oh, this straw is leaking. Oh, from what end? The top or the bottom, right? Because you could just say, well, it's coming out of the hole. It's like, well, which hole?
right.
You know? So that would be problematic. Because it's one hole until you cut off at the middle, then it's two holes.
Oh,
You're right. You're right.
Smaller hole. That's just a shallower hole.
But it's two different holes, though, isn't it?
Is toilet paper roll two holes? No, it's one hole.
But
Yeah.
see, this is what Crit just said though. It is because you can enter it from both sides. You can enter
Because you
it
can
from
spit
either
roast
side.
it, you know.
Right. Because you can enter it from either side. I feel like each one of those ends is a hole, and those two holes are connected.
What if we had a hole on one end of the earth and another one on the other side? You would call each side a hole,
Except here's the thing.
and the center would be the tunnel.
But here's the thing. We're not talking about that. We're talking about a straw.
But isn't it just like a small scale version of that?
Yeah, I
Right,
think
that's
it's different.
tunnel? A straw is just a small tunnel that you suck through.
Yes.
Is it a hole? It's what Wolfslore wants to know. Is this a
Excuse
hole?
me. Hand me the small tunnel, boy.
So, Jared, to answer your question, yes, a straw is a small tunnel.
You got the questions, we got the answers. All you do is ask. Practical, 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 ask. Practical, duh.
Welcome to the throwdown.
We're just gonna get right into it.
I don't even know. I really got to look this up and see what we got. Oh, boy.
After the tunnel comment, I mean, we
Oh
can't do anything but.
Yeah, right? Be interesting. Oh, my goodness.
I don't
Oh, this is perfect.
know any of these things.
No, one of these things is.
I'll tell you what. The council knows its audience.
Yes. It knows the
council its
guest.
audience very well. Very, very well done, council.
Yes.
All right, Dougie.
All right. So, this week's throwdown is an elder thing from Lovecraft versus a beholder from Forgotten Realms.
Ooh.
It's going to be interesting. So, let's start by breaking this down for anyone who doesn't know what this stuff is. I know what everything is. Not my problem.
I know everything.
I know what a beholder is, so I can definitely speak to that one.
Then that's good because the elder things is my thing. So
Mm.
So I love this website. I will forever love this website because I never understand their team. But the beholder is at least a low 7B, whatever that means.
Yeah.
See here.
it looks
It's-
like crap.
It does, but these things are serious problems in the Dungeon Dragons. They have so many.
Oh, okay, cool.
These things are, yeah. This is like one of the signature creatures outside of the dragons. So they've got superhuman physical characteristics: light, dark vision, enhanced perception, magical rays. Those are the big ones. Fear manipulation, empathic manipulation, petrification. They can slow, paralyze. They can put people to sleep. They have telekinesis. They can disintegrate. They have a death ray, magic negation. They can essentially negate any magic that comes. Earth manipulation within their layer, duplication, and life manipulation. Their attack potency is at least small city plus. Both make me laugh and infuriate me. Speed, at least relativistic plus with faster than light reactions. Okay. Yes. Lifting streak is unknown. Striking. So it's very smart. Genius, at least. They're very strategic. They're also super paranoid. They have no notable weaknesses. They're highly xenophobic, vicious, and they have all high rays and stuff like that. So yeah, they're pretty significant. They're pretty powerful.
Powered up there, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So let's take us through the old
elder thing. So this one is at least an 8C. I want you to chew on that for just a second. This is from the Cthulhu mythos. It's likely genderless. It's got superhuman physical characteristics. The fuck does that even mean? Flight, spacecraft. Spacecraft. Jesus. Flight, space. Oh, really? This is one of those nights. All right. Flight, and then space flight, self-sustenance, immortality, matter manipulation, resistance to extreme cold and cosmic radiation.
I really just want one quick note where it says self-sustenance. It's type 1 and type 2 like diabetes. One of those two.
That's how that works.
Right. Wilford Brimley?
You're an elder thing?
It's exact, but well, he was in Cocoon. Attack potency, at least building level. Cool. And then a lot of other stuff in that paragraph that I'm not going to read. Speed.
It completely repelled a Shoggoth rebellion, Justin.
Cool. So the speed, it's massively fuck tongue long plus. Lifting strength unknown, striking strength, building class, durability. The same as a building. Stamina, likely high, range, melee. So it's got to be in close. Standard equipment, who knows? Intelligence, it varies. Weakness, they have lost quite some of their knowledge over the years. They're forgetful. So feats, it has fought wars with Cthulhu and the Shoggoths, and were able to fight evenly with the great race of Yith. This is how you have to say it. Despite the latter likely knowing everything about their weaponry, tactics, and etc. There you go.
All right.
Crit. So Crit, I feel like Crit's got some extra knowledge on some of this shit. So lay it on us, buddy.
Real quick, Noah says, pay no attention to immortality. They aren't immortal. Oh.
Well, it says it. The website you gave us says it.
So their immortality, I'm going to go into depth into that one. So they aren't technically immortal, but they are. So when you kill an elder being, usually they are condemned back to their original plane of existence. They don't die. They basically, it's like, think of Mario. When you fall off the screen, you just bleep back into existence. Except for when they bleep back into existence, they go back to their original plane of existence and have to work. Basically, it's like climbing out of hell all over again to get back to Earth. You're like, ah. So there's kind of that. Now, something else that's not mentioned is they have the ability to spawn spores.
Odd.
So they can actually, they reproduce via spores. So multiple of them can be created at once if it's the right elder thing.
Slow down and talk about spores for just a little bit more.
Hey, baby. Just want to let you know we're going to talk about spores.
Oh, yeah.
They fly over the place.
Continue.
Dang it. So if it's the elder things that I'm thinking of that usually take on like plant-like appearances and things, because the worst part about Cthulhu is that a lot of the monsters have similar names. Like there's Cthulhu and Cthulhu. So you're like, really? 1 letter difference? What's going on here? But I believe these are the elder things that they take on like shapes and sizes of vegetables and things like that. So, yeah. So these they multiply through spores. So realistically, they can multiply within a beholder and kill it from the inside, but it takes time.
Okay.
So if we're doing
Playing the long con.
if we're playing the long game, these guys got it in the back.
Okay.
Short term, however, realistically, the only weakness a beholder has is, though they're highly intelligent, they can be duped by a smart individual. They can be quickly tricked to abandon their, shall we say, goals. They can be bartered with. Usually, even in games that we've played, we've had adventurers bring gold and promises of wealth and knowledge and things, and they've bartered their way out of things. So they're very greedy in that aspect. But if they can take it from you, they will. So the only other weakness they have physically is the fact that if you chop off one of the eye stalks, they lose that ability. So each power is attached to a separate eye stalk. And the older the beholder, the more powerful the powers they have. So it really depends on what age we're talking about with the beholder. But I will say short game, I'll have to go with the beholder on this one.
I'd agree. I think also because according to this website, the elder thing has to get in close. Where beholder has its range and anti-magic. Don't know if elder stuff's using magic or anything. Real problem, that fella.
Yeah.
Big time. I concur with all of that. And to that, I will say, beholder!
We done did it. Like that. Well done. I love how you got out the book. You're like, hold on, I got to make sure I double check on this.
Hold on. Hold on.
This is going to be the most well-informed throwdown we've ever done.
He's got the monster manual. We're good to go.
I could have pulled out the other one too, but I didn't want to drive across the room to...
Yeah, that was awesome. That was so much fun. Crit, man, what a pleasure to have you on here. But before we wrap things up, this is where we like to do any sort of recommendations. If anything you'd recommend, something you've watched, something you've read, a game you've played, something you've got going on, whatever you have, whatever's in your mind, now the time. Let people know what you recommend.
So, recommendation for a show I just recently watched was, now I forgot the name of it. Now I'm on the spot. Ted Lasso? No!
It was a guess.
Ted Lasso.
I'm trying to think. It was it's all slipped my mind now. Darwin's Game, for sure, is a definite recommendation for anime. If you are into anime, you need to not only read the manga, but watch the anime adaptation of it on Netflix. They're both really good.
Okay.
I would say dive into that. And if you're into more of your horror genre, a really good movie to check out, I would say, is the Color Out of Space movie with Nicolas Cage in it. It's actually really cool.
Really?
Okay. I feel like I remember seeing a trailer for it and being really visually impressed by it.
It is a beautiful visual movie. And I will honestly say Nicolas Cage playing the character he does in that, it's a perfect fit for him. I honestly thought, I was like, oh, we got Nicolas Cage in this one too. Don't ruin my Cthulhu. Nope. Blew it away. I was impressed the whole way through.
Awesome.
And it is a horror movie if you like the psychological thriller aspect. Yes, we have our Cthulhu monsters, but it's more of a psychological kind of dive, which is what our Cthulhu is about. So those are my recommendations.
Very cool. Justin, what do you got?
I'm going to recommend, did not realize this was dropping, and I happened across it and was like, let's give it a shot. Shanxi, Legend of the Ten Rings. I liked it, and it was, I'll say this, it was the most unique in and of it to itself. Marvel movie I've seen thus far. Like it didn't feel like a Marvel movie, even though it was still well within the Marvel universe. It felt like its own thing, and in that regard, I thought that was awesome. Like it really had its own. It set itself apart. It had its own vibe. It felt like it was its own thing while still being part of a larger universe, which is I feel like a really hard line to ride. Do I think it's one of the best Marvel movies ever? No, but do I think it is one of the most uniquely told ones? I think absolutely. So I would say give it a shot, and I'd be curious to hear everyone's opinion.
Very cool.
What do you got?
I'd recommend, and I feel like the only one that has seen this show, but Arcane on Netflix. It's based on League of Legends. I don't give a shit about League of Legends. Couldn't care less. I played it for maybe a little bit, a month at one point in time years ago. Don't give a shit about it. But I saw the trailer for it, and the animation is phenomenal. The story is great. It's awesome. As of right now, the first 2 acts are out. It's the first 6 episodes. I believe the last 3 episodes are dropping this coming weekend. Can't recommend it enough. Super great. I really, really enjoy it. Somebody says ranked competitive racism as opposed to League of Legends. I hear it's a very toxic game. But this show is excellent. Absolutely excellent. I don't want to say anything else about it. I highly recommend it. It's very well done. It hit me in the feels. Wasn't expecting. And I'm curious to see how they wrap it up. Hopefully it doesn't suck. So, but, as far as I can tell, looks pretty good. Ezekiel says, I have some tips for gaming subscribers. You just have to do gameplay like Left 4 Dead 2, and that's it. Great. No problem. We'll do that this weekend as we play Left 4 Dead 2 on Saturday. That's what we'll do. But yeah, I recommend checking out Arcane on Netflix. Great show. That being said, please don't forget to wait. Sorry, says I'm already hearing critics don't like Cowboy Bebop. To be honest, I'm 9 episodes into Cowboy Bebop, the original. I don't really like it either.
I didn't either.
I had to stop. I just was like, I felt like such a dick. I was like, when does this show get good? They're like, maybe it's not for you, Doug. I'm like, it probably isn't so bad because everyone talks so highly of it. I'm like, I couldn't get myself back into it.
Trigun though.
That's great.
Get you some Trigun.
Yeah. I'm actually also rewatching for probably the 3rd or 4th time Full Metal Alchemist. Amazing. Great.
Yes.
So good. That'll be another recommendation later. But please don't forget to check us out on all our social medias at MindGap Podcast. And please check us out on Twitch, twitch.tv/MindGap Podcast. Please drop us a follow. And then also head over to YouTube. Check out our channel there. Drop us a subscribe there. That would mean the world to us. Live stream all of our content and YouTube. Central days, podcast, and Saturdays video game stream. Please check us out there. Almighty Crit, real quick, where can people check you out?
Well, you can go to check us out online at 4_crit on Twitter. And you can check us out on Thursday nights. Also, sorry.
No, go for it. No, hey, we release our stuff on Thursdays, the audio portion.
That's right.
So
we release on Thursday. We
wide
record
open
on Tuesdays. Come on now. I've been drinking that water again. No, we record live. Me and my co-host Sergio. We do the Dungeons & Dragons Lorecast live on Twitch at Almighty Crit. It's twitch.tv/Almighty Crit. You can check us out there. We do about 10 minutes of banter with the stream before and after. And it's just a really good time to talk all things we love about Dungeons & Dragons.
Fantastic. Excellent. Please go check. Justin can be found online as well.
On Instagram and Twitter at Justin_Michael, spelled Mikel. It's the fun way of spelling it. And while you're in the online realm, check us out on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Samsung Listen, Amazon Music, all the places where you can find and consume quality casts that are potted. And then you can rate us, you can review us, you can subscribe, all the things that we love. The big one for us, though, is sharing. If you can just copy a link to one of our shows that you like and throw it out there into the digital ether, it goes a long way. And then 2east8th.com/mindgap, and keep an eye on all of 2 East 8th stuff. I'm very pleased to announce that we are dangerously dangerously close to being done with Life and Debt of a Liberal Arts major.
Awesome.
So that should be, we will have that out before the end of the year. And then we just finished the first draft of our first feature film. So we are rocking and rolling on that. That is slated to start shooting of July of next year. So keep
That's awesome.
an eye.
Fantastic. Proud of you guys. Are working hard. Working hard. Once again, Almighty Crit, thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight. This was absolute.
Well, thank you. Thank you for having me. I had a blast.
That's awesome. And you will absolutely be coming back on here. So just know
I hope
that.
so.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Have you back for sure. So, Crit, thank you so much. We appreciate you.
Thank you, buddy.
That I'll say.
Douglas, thank you.
Twitch and YouTube, thank you.
And listeners, thank you.
You all have a dandy. Yay!
Hey,
Show.
we
Oh,
did
man.
it.
We did it. Wow, you all are awesome, man. Thank you so much. Like, this is such a great. The only downside about live streaming the podcast is I just want to respond to every freaking message that you guys put up here because it's
Yes.
so good. But I'm like, I can't. I don't want to interrupt the conversation to say someone's really great message.
Yeah, that's the same problem we have with doing the Dungeons & Dragons Lorecast. People will be like, "Oh, wait," they'll be talking, they'll have their own conversation. I'm like, I want to be a part of that. I
Yeah,
want to say that.
right? Oh, that's so good.
That's why we need a producer who can sit and read that. We don't have access to the chat, and then they can kind of chime in and go, "Here's a thing from so and so."
Yeah, exactly. I'd love that.
That's,
yeah.
we need like your mom's house has. There's
Exactly.
that room for producers.
Exactly. Noah, I got you back in mod status. Sorry about that, buddy. My bad. That was my bad. Ezekiel says, do you know about Team Fortress 2? Do I know about Team Fortress 2? Holy
Get
shit.
out.
That's been my game for years. I remember Team Fortress 1. That's how old I am. I mean, geez, that was good times. Love that game. Unfortunately, after playing
Only
things
video
like...
game Bug could get me to play.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That was years ago. I still actually have like a random video that I was showing you of like how the game worked. I set to, and it was just complete chaos. Yeah, that's one of my old favorites. After playing things like Overwatch, though, it is hard to go back to it because Overwatch is such a smooth run game, but Team Fortress 2 just feels so clunky. Just trying to connect to a server. Like, I was trying to play with someone else. I'm like, let's go to this server. It was so hard just for us to play together. And then the server was just, it was complete and utter mayhem. Because, so weird. I was like, oh, wait.
Where they glitched the server? Was it one of those where, like, the server had all the, like, the giant cat would come over? Like one of those fucked up servers?
That was amazing. That was one of my favorite things that I ever did. So,
Have you ever played Conker's Bad Fur Day Live and Reloaded online multiplayer?
not. That was the thing.
My God. Yes, it is. It is a Xbox original. I think you can actually buy it on the online store. And it is absolute. You want to talk about clunky? It is. Yeah, squirrels versus teddy bears. Everything's dying all the time. I didn't get 5 feet from the start point before I died every single turn.
That's insane. Pure and utter chaos.
Yes.
Wolfsword wants to redeem a shout out. It says, someone, dealer's choice.
He wants to shout out anyone that we want to shout out.
Oh, thank you for interpreting that for me.
Or maybe I'm wrong and he wanted us to say someone, dealer's choice.
I was like, I accomplished that. Someone, dealer's choice. Let's see here. I'll shout out you, Wolf. I want to shout you out because you are such a kind and wonderful person who just you come into Discords, you come into games, you come into chats, and you bring so much positivity and warmth, and you're such a connector of people, and you're such a positive force, and I've enjoyed watching your streams, especially that weird anime thing you've been playing lately.
I told him to leave.
Which was wild and crazy, and it's so much fun, and you're such a great person, and I know you're really not feeling well, so I hope you feel better real soon, and we appreciate you. Dickalo, you want to shout out? Tell me who you want to shout out. I'll shout it out. Type it in the chat. I know you're on YouTube right now. These folks are in Twitter. Tell me who you want to shout out. We'll get your shout out in. No problem. Noah says, yeah, Wolf, get fucked. So, yeah, there you go.
Wait, what?
Wait, what? Yeah, thanks for the
Different conversation. That's a different conversation.
Yeah. Good. Yeah, this is great. This is a really good had a good time with everyone in Crit. God, I felt like I looked down at the time, I'm like, God damn it, we have to move this along. I don't want to. I could talk about this forever.
Yes.
Crit,
Shame.
You feel like you have been a part of this podcast for the 6 years we've been doing it. So yeah. Like, way to just slip in there.
Hey.
Yeah. I gotta say, like,
Here for you.
just some behind the scenes talk. Like sometimes when we have guests on, it's Wolf just goes, "Fuck me yourself, you coward."
How about you?
But sometimes, like, you know, meeting people you haven't met before, it can be a little unusual and uncomfortable. And Crit, it's like we hopped on with Crit. I'm like, this is gonna be a great show. Like this is
We're gonna nail it.
You're so easy to talk to. Like this is no big deal. Other times, like hey, how's it going? Good. And it's just silence. It's like, oh shit, we got like 10 minutes before we go live, man. I don't know what we're gonna be doing here.
And then we've got an hour and a half once we're live.
Yeah, it's like we have to save every second for once we go live because we're not gonna get any content. This is crazy.
You get those people. You're like, I don't know what to do with my hands.
Yeah. Because I get that, you know.
Hands down.
Well, this is episode 3. Actually, I accidentally put 322. It's 323. I typed that wrong. But it's 323 episodes. We've done this a lot. We put in a lot of hours of doing this. We are very comfortable with it. I understand that some people are not. We try to make it a good space for that, where people aren't used to that. Obviously, you are comfortable with this. You've done this, and you know what's going on. So you know it's good to just sort of make it a great place for people to be comfortable. But sometimes you feel it. You're like, oh, they're not into this. Okay. Let's try to find something.
I literally found you guys asking for guests on Facebook, and
I regret my decision. It was a bad idea. Etoy says, awesome episode. Even as a non-D&D'er, I got a lot out of it. Yeah, man. I hope at some point, Etoy, I know you're working hard too, teaching the youth of America. But if we ever got a chance to do some D&D with you.
Honestly, I have been, not to cut you off, sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
I've been thinking at some point I want to do, like Critical Role used to do celebrity D&D.
Mm-hmm.
I want to do a podcaster D&D where, and I'm working out the kinks because there's a lot of technical things and logistics you got to work out with this, but I'm thinking of having like hosts that I've been with or I've know personally and hang out with. I'm thinking about having them all come together, and I will DM a game for these guys and see how crazy it gets. Because the best part about D&D is when you throw people that have never met each other once a day in their life together in a group, and you go, work together. Okay, bye.
Yeah, that's wild, right? It's like being on a class project at school. It's like you were randomly assigned together. Now go do something. Like, figure it out. Okay, cool.
You guys just want to light it on fire and call it a day?
Yeah, that's cool. Oh, Ezekiel, he's in the Philippines. That's awesome, man. Thank you. Hello all the way over to the Philippines.
Well, hello.
So cool, man. I bet we could get the home team. Dude, I think that's a big... I don't know, dude. Like, maybe that's just me lacking confidence, but I feel like they're a band that's blowing up that I don't know. That'd be awesome.
Listen, give me 5 minutes in the room with them. I got you.
Knowing Wolf, they don't have a Discord, but he built one for him, and he's in there, and he's like, hey, guys, come in here to this Discord, and let's talk. And they're like, okay. And I know you actually have. You've talked with them. I know you have. Like, Wolf has made these connections. He's the best at making connections with people. Such a good dude.
Yeah. Because, I was talking to him not too long ago. Speaking of which, we got to work out the details for your guys' guest appearance.
Yes.
You got to get some D&D under your belt first.
Yeah.
Or not.
Or not, yeah. I mean, it could go either way, realistically. You could walk it. We could just have you play a simple villager, and that would be hilarious.
I would be down for that.
Thrown in with
I would love it if he and I were simple villagers and we got to improv again. That would be amazing. That would be so much fun, Justin. We actually get to do.
Man,
we just do that sort of. Oh, that'd be amazing.
Yes.
You're
I
just the
guess
guy
it's
who
just
churns the
book.
butter, and these random adventurers come into town, and they're like, "You're coming with us."
I can do that.
That'd be amazing.
I thought when you said like simple villager, I thought you meant like simple Jack. Like I like okay,
Job's done.
I'll go do it.
I
So-
don't know, me lord.
We actually have a character that is like that, and they're a demon who suffers from a head injury. It's actually
I love it.
let's see, where's it at? Where's it at?
God, does he have a mini for it?
No, I do.
Slotty says that's where Justin would shine.
So,
Is
in
it Simpleton?
this book, Baldur's Gate: Descent to Avernus,
Uh-huh.
canonly, there is a section. I'm going to ruin this campaign for anybody who hasn't played it yet. There's a section. Here we go. Where you meet up with some bearded devils, and I'll grab the mini for you in a minute. But one of the bearded devils suffers from a head injury, and you can either choose to cure it or befriend them. And if you befriend them, they constantly want to introduce you to their abyssal chicken, which looks like this thing. And his name is Earwax, and they're bestest friends.
Awesome.
Of course, my party decided, you know what? I like him. We're going to take him back to it with us. We're going to name him Barry, and he's going to be a chicken farmer. So that's
Oh,
where
I thought
he
you were
is
saying
now
chicken
in our
fucker.
world. No, I mean, I don't know what he does behind closed doors.
What he does at his own time's on him, you know?
Yes. Yeah. So yeah, technically you could do it. It's happened before. It's been in the podcast.
And here's the thing, it will happen again.
Yeah, I'm guarantee you they're gonna go back to Barry at some point, and I'm gonna have to do the "Hi guys, how are you doing today?"
I love this.
Guys,
Hi guys.
Hey, you guys. Just
You
play
gotta do
sloth,
the hand
basically.
movements when you do it too. Hi guys, how are you doing today? Do you want to pet my chicken earwax?
Oh, I love it. Hashtag after the podcast. Hashtag podcast after hours. Hashtag mind gap after the show.
I am Chris Hardwick. Welcome to Talking Mind Gap.
Oh,
If you didn't get enough, here's some more.
here's a little bit more. That's just for you.
Right, we're
you
going to
all.
break down the show. Remember when Crit brought this point up? What do you think you meant to that? We'll turn to the panel. Crit, what did you mean by that?
Oh, God.
Come on, you know I don't speak Spanish.
Oh, no, not the talking gap. That sounds just gross.
Oh,
I don't like it.
I don't like that at all.
Whew. Well, with that being said, thank you all for hanging out with us. This was an absolute delight. Thank you again to Crit, and we'll see you guys on Saturday for Left 4 Dead 2. That's 8 p.m. Central Time. Check us out. It'll be great.
Mm-hmm.
Sure to check out.
I'm gonna make the crew here. We're recording this weekend. I'm gonna make them pause just so I can join.
God bless you. It'll be a shit show. It always is. So
Shut up, everybody! I'm watching this.
hold on. Let's see if a boomer gets caught in the room again. If Doug can just shoot him through there. Thank you, Ezekiel. Hope to see you there, pal. Appreciate you, man. All right, gang. You all have a lovely evening. Take it easy. Be safe, and we'll see you soon. Adios.